Do you have proof? That was the question HR asked me, like my entire career fit inside one tiny word: proof. I stared at the conference table, at the neat little notepad in front of the HR rep, and at my manager sitting across from me with a smug half smile. He actually looked relaxed, like this was a normal Tuesday, like he didn't just steal months of my work and call it his. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't cry. I slid my phone forward, face up, with one audio file ready. And I said, yes, press play. For a second, nobody moved. Then my manager's smirk twitched, and I saw something flicker in his eyes. Worry. That's when I knew. I had him, but I'm getting ahead of myself, because the story didn't start in that HR room. It started months earlier, when I was the kind of employee managers love. Quiet, fast, reliable, the one who stayed late without making a show of it. The one who fixed problems before anyone else even noticed them. I worked at a mid-sized tech company, not a startup, not a giant, one of those places that thinks it's family while tracking your bathroom breaks. My job title was analyst, but what I really did was keep projects from crashing. My team handled internal systems, dashboards, reporting, process automation, the work that doesn't look shiny until it's broken. My manager's name was Brent. Late 30s, perfect hair, perfect teeth, perfect I'm a leader voice. He loved meetings more than results. He loved being seen as important, and he loved taking credit for other people's work. At first I didn't notice, or maybe I did and I told myself it wasn't worth the fight. In my first few months, Brent was friendly in that fake way. He'd say things like, "You're crushing it," and then send me 3 more tasks at 5:30 p.m. He'd praise me in private, but in public meetings he'd say, "My team built this," like the team was a nameless blob he controlled. I was 27. I had student loans. Rent wasn't cheap. I needed stability, so I kept my head down. Then the big project landed, the one that would decide promotions for the year. It was called the Orion Migration, a messy, high-risk move of our reporting system to a new platform. If it went wrong, executives would notice. If it went right, someone would get a nice title bump. Brent walked into our team meeting like he was announcing a movie premiere. "Okay," he said, clapping his hands once. "This is huge. We need to show leadership we can deliver." Then he looked at me. "Can you take point on the planning? You're organized. Translation, do all the work." He assigned 2 other analysts to support me, but they were split across other projects, so it was mostly me. I built the timeline. I mapped every dependency. I scheduled stakeholder check-ins. I wrote the risk plan. I built the project tracker. I created the testing scripts. I set up a shared folder with clean file naming, and every single piece of it, I documented. Because I'm the kind of person who doesn't trust memory. I trust timestamps. Every email I sent had clear language. Attached is the migration plan I drafted. Here is the tracker I created. For my analysis, the risk is, I didn't realize I was building a weapon. I just thought I was being thorough. The first time I caught Brent trying to take it, it was small. We were on a call with a director named Denise. Denise was sharp, no patience, the kind of woman who can smell nonsense from a mile away. Brent shared his screen and pulled up my tracker. He said, "So I put together a project plan for Orion." I blinked. My fingers went cold on my keyboard. He didn't say, "My analyst did this." He didn't say, "We collaborated." He said, "I put together." I unmuted. Calm, professional. "Just to add," I said, "I built that tracker last week and I'm updating it daily. I can walk Denise through the dependencies if you'd like." Brent didn't even look at me on camera. He just laughed like I told a cute joke. Yep, that's what I meant. "My team, great work everyone." After the call, he messaged me. "Hey, next time don't interrupt. It can confuse leadership." Confuse leadership, not lie to leadership. Just don't expose him. My hands were trembling, but I stared at the message until my heart slowed. Then I replied, "Understood," and I screenshotted. That's when I noticed something. Brent wasn't just sloppy, he was strategic. Over the next few weeks, his behavior got worse. He'd schedule meetings without inviting me, then ask me for answers after. He'd forward my emails to leadership with his name at the top. He'd take my slide decks, change the colors, and present them like he built them. And every time he did it, he'd give me that smirk, like he was daring me, like he believed I wouldn't do anything. Because what was I going to do? Complain? To who? HR. The same HR that always sides with managers? I wish that was the worst part. because the day of the promotion meeting is the day he decided to go all in. It was the end of quarter performance review season. Promotions were announced in small meetings with the manager, the department head, and HR as an observer. My peers had been whispering for weeks. "You're getting it," one girl told me at lunch. "You carried Orion." I knew I deserved it. My numbers were clear. My work was clear. Denise had personally emailed me once. "This is the cleanest project plan I've seen all year." I saved that email too. The morning of my meeting, I wore my best blazer. Nothing flashy, just sharp enough to say I belonged in that room. I walked in with my notebook and my calm face. Brent was already there, leaning back. His chair. Denise sat across from him, and HR, a woman named Marcia, sat slightly off to the side with her laptop. Marcia gave me a polite smile that didn't reach her eyes. I sat down. Brent started right away. "Okay," he said, "this is exciting. We're here to discuss growth and next steps." Denise nodded. Brent clicked his pen. Then he launched into a speech about leadership, about strategy, about guiding the Orion migration through complexity. He used my phrases, my language, my risks, my mitigation plan. He spoke like he lived inside my project files. I waited for the part where he said my name. He didn't. He said I led, I developed, I delivered. He kept talking and his confidence grew with every sentence. Then Denise looked at me. "So," she said, "Brent tells me you supported the Orion effort. How did you feel it went?" Supported, that word hit like a slap. My stomach dropped, but my face stayed neutral. "I didn't support it," I said calmly. "I owned it." Brent's smile didn't move. He leaned forward just a little, like he was enjoying this. Denise lifted an eyebrow. Brent cut in fast. "Of course," he said, "she played a key role. But leadership requires oversight, coordination, stakeholder management." I stared at him. He was rewriting my reality in real time. Then Marcia from HR spoke for the first time. "We're not here to debate," she said in that HR tone. "We're here to align on next steps." My chest tightened. This was it. This was the moment my career could tilt. I took a slow breath. "I'd like to clarify something," I said. "I have documentation showing I created the Orion plan, led the stakeholder meetings, and delivered the final migration files." Brent let out a little chuckle, like I was being adorable. "Wow," he said, shaking his head slightly. "She's passionate. Love that." My nails pressed into my palm under the table. Denise looked between us. "What documentation?" she asked. Brent's voice stayed smooth. "Look," he said, "we all contribute, but promotions are about leadership, and I've been leading this team." Then he turned to Marcia. "I'm recommending we hold off on her promotion. She's great technically, but she's not ready. Not ready." After I built the project that saved his reputation, my throat went tight, but I swallowed it down. Denise didn't argue. Marcia nodded like it was settled. And Brent smirked. Right there, in that room. At my promotion meeting, I walked out feeling shattered. Not dramatic shattered, the quiet kind. The kind where you get to your desk and just stare at your screen like you forgot how words work. My coworker Jenna leaned over. "How'd it go?" she whispered. I looked at her and I could tell my face was blank. "They said no," I said. Jenna's mouth fell open. "What? That's insane." His chair, Denise sat across from him, and HR, a woman named Marcia, sat slightly off to the side with her laptop. Marcia gave me a polite smile that didn't reach her eyes. I sat down. Brent started right away. "Okay," he said, "this is exciting. We're here to discuss growth and next steps." Denise nodded. Brent clicked his pen. Then he launched into a speech about leadership, about strategy, about guiding the Orion migration through complexity. He used my phrases, my language, my risks, my mitigation plan. He spoke like he lived inside my project files. I waited for the part where he said my name. He didn't. He said, "I led, I developed, I delivered." He kept talking, and his confidence grew with every sentence. Then Denise looked at me. "So," she said, "Brent tells me you supported the Orion effort. How did you feel it went?" Supported. That word hit like a slap. My stomach dropped, but my face stayed neutral. "I didn't support it," I said. Calmly, I owned it. Brent's smile didn't move. He leaned forward just a little, like he was enjoying this. Denise lifted an eyebrow. Brent cut in fast. "Of course," he said. "She played a key role, but leadership requires oversight, coordination, stakeholder management. I stared at him. He was rewriting my reality in real time. Then Marcia from HR spoke for the first time. "We're not here to debate," she said in that HR tone. "We're here to align on next steps." My chest tightened. This was it. This was the moment my career could tilt. I took a slow breath. "I'd like to clarify something," I said. "I have documentation showing I created the Orion plan, led the stakeholder meetings, and delivered the final migration files." Brent let out a little chuckle, like I was being adorable. "Wow," he said, shaking his head slightly. "She's passionate. Love that." My nails pressed into my palm under the table. Denise looked between us. "What documentation?" she asked. Brent's voice stayed smooth. "Look," he said, "we all contribute. But promotions are about leadership, and I've been leading this team." Then he turned to Marcia. "I'm recommending we hold off on her promotion. She's great technically, but she's not ready. After I built the project that saved his reputation." My throat went tight, but I swallowed it down. Denise didn't argue. Marcia nodded like it was settled, and Brent smirked. Right there, in that room. At my promotion meeting, I walked out feeling shattered. Not dramatic shattered, the quiet kind. The kind where you get to your desk and just stare at your screen like you forgot how words work. My coworker Jenna leaned over. "How'd it go?" she whispered. I looked at her, and I could tell my face was blank. "They said no," I said. Jenna's mouth fell open. "What? That's insane. Make this a risk problem, not a my boss is mean problem." So I waited for the right moment, and I found it a week later. Denise sent an email to the department. She announced a leadership award, and guess who won? Brent, for exemplary leadership during the Orion migration. My hands went cold again, because now he wasn't just stealing my promotion. He was using my work to build his brand, to get visibility, to climb. If he got that momentum, he'd be untouchable. That night, I didn't sleep. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, thinking about every time I let something slide, every time I told myself it wasn't worth it. And I realized something simple. If I stayed quiet, he would keep doing it. To me, to others. So I wrote an email, not emotional, not dramatic, clean, professional, to HR, to Marcia. Subject line, formal complaint, misrepresentation of work product and retaliation risk. I use that phrase on purpose, retaliation risk, because the moment you say that, HR listens differently. I wrote, "I'm requesting a formal meeting to review documented evidence that my manager has repeatedly misrepresented my work as his own, including in a promotion decision meeting. I also have concerns about retaliation after I attempted to clarify ownership." Then I attached nothing. Not yet. I just requested the meeting because I wanted the reveal to happen in person with witnesses. I wanted a controlled room. 2 days later, Marcia replied, "Thank you for bringing your concerns forward. Please come to HR on Friday at 10 a.m. We will have an HR representative present, along with a member of leadership." Leadership. That mattered. That meant Denise or someone like her would be there. I smiled for the first time in days, but I stayed careful. Because Brent wasn't dumb, he had instincts. That week, he started being nice, too nice. He stopped assigning me heavy work. He started praising me loudly in meetings. He dropped by my desk. "Hey," he said casual, "you've been quiet lately. Everything good?" I looked up with my calm face. "Yep," I said, "just focused." He leaned on the edge of my cubicle. "You know," he said, lowering his voice, "I'm pushing for your growth. But you've got to trust the process." Trust the process. I nodded like I believed him. Then he said, "Also, I heard you asked HR about career paths." My stomach tightened. So he did know. Not everything, but enough. I kept my tone light. "I asked about development opportunities," I said. He smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "Well," he said, "HR can be formal. Just be careful how you frame things." There it was. The warning, the threat wrapped in a smile. I watched him walk away, and I felt that quiet kind of fear, because managers like Brent don't like being challenged. They like controlling the narrative, and he was going to try. That's when I noticed something else. My access to one of the shared folders was suddenly gone. I clicked it and got an error. "Access denied." My heart started pounding. He was trying to cut me off from the project history, to erase evidence. Too late. I already saved the key files, but this was important, because now I had proof of interference. I emailed IT, not accusing anyone, Just, "Hi, I'm unable to access the Orion project folder that I previously had access to. Can you confirm if permissions changed?" I'd replied within an hour. Yes, permissions were changed yesterday by Brent, last name. They even included the timestamp. I added it to my timeline and I printed it. Friday came. I walked into HR with a simple folder. Inside was my timeline spreadsheet printed, a USB drive with files, my laptop, and my phone charged with the recording queued. My hands were trembling, but my face stayed steady. Marcia greeted me in the HR conference room. Denise was there too, sitting upright with her arms crossed. And another person I didn't expect was there, legal. A company counsel named Adrian. That made my stomach flip. Because legal doesn't come unless HR thinks there's real risk. Brent walked in last, and he looked confident. He wore a nice watch, a crisp shirt. He nodded at everyone like he belonged at the head of the table. Then he looked at me and smirked, like, "Good luck." Marcia started. "This is a formal meeting regarding concerns raised by..." She glanced at her notes. "Your work product ownership and the promotion decision process." Brent sighed dramatically. "I'm glad we're addressing this," he said, "because I care about my team's development." Denise watched him closely. I said nothing. Marcia turned to me. "Please explain your concerns." I opened my folder. "I'm alleging that Brent repeatedly misrepresented my work as his own," I said, evenly, "and that it influenced a promotion decision. I also believe there was an attempt to limit my access to project documentation after I raised concerns." Brent laughed lightly. "This is exactly what I mean," he said. "She's great, but she gets territorial." Denise's expression didn't change. Marcia looked at me. "Do you have proof?" There it was again. Proof. I nodded. "Yes." I slid the printed timeline across the table. "It starts on April 3rd, I said. "That's when I was assigned project lead for Orion. The email is included." Brent opened his mouth, but Marcia held up a hand. "Let her present," she said. That was new. HR was giving me the floor. I continued. "My timeline shows every major deliverable, with the email or file history attached. You'll see creation metadata with my user ID." I opened my laptop and turned it toward them. I pulled up the version history of the Orion tracker. My name, created by me, edited by me, dozens of entries. Brent's name was barely there. Denise leaned in. Adrian from legal watched quietly. Marcia typed. Brent's smile started to fade, just slightly. Then I clicked open the email from Denise praising the project plan. I didn't gloat. I just let it sit on the screen like a fact. Then I showed the forwarded email from Brent claiming he led the entire project. I looked at Marcia. "That email was sent after my promotion meeting," I said, "where I was described as support despite owning the work." Brent cleared his throat. "This is selective," he said. "I oversee multiple projects. Leadership isn't just who makes files." Denise finally spoke. "Brent," she said, calm but sharp, "did you tell me you led Orion?" Brent smiled again, but it looked forced. "I led the team through it," he said. Denise didn't blink. "And did you create the plan?" Brent hesitated. "A plan is collaborative," he said. I could feel my heart pounding, but I stayed steady. "That's why I also brought a meeting recording," I said. Brent's head snapped toward me. "What?" Marcia's fingers paused on the keyboard. "A recording?" she repeated. I nodded. "It's from an approved training session on our platform," I said. "Company recorded. It includes Brent making a statement about presenting my work as his." Brent's face tightened. "Seriously?" he said with a laugh that sounded too loud. "This is insane." Denise held out her hand. "Play it," she said. Brent's smile twitched again. Marcia looked uncertain. Adrian from legal leaned forward slightly. "Is it an internal recording from company systems?" Adrian asked. "Yes," I said. "Not personal. It's stored on our platform." Adrian nodded once. "Then it's admissible for internal review," he said. That's when Brent's confidence cracked. He straightened in his chair, suddenly stiff. Marcia looked at my phone. "Go ahead," she said. My finger hovered for a second. I could hear my heartbeat. Then I pressed play. The speaker filled the quiet room. My voice came first, calm and clear, explaining the tracker. Then Brent's voice, cheerful, joking. "Let's be honest," recording Brent said, laughing. "I'm going to present this like I made it. That's the manager perk." There was a beat of silence on the recording. Someone laughed awkwardly. Then my recorded voice. "Brent, please don't do that. I need ownership on this for my career." Then Brent again. Relax, you'll get your gold star later. In the HR room, nobody moved. Denise's eyes widened. Marcia's mouth fell open. And I heard it, an audible gasp. Not loud, but real. The kind of sound people make when the truth hits them all at once. I watched Brent. The color drained from his face. He didn't. No. He looked like someone pulled the floor out from under him. Marcia slowly closed her laptop halfway, like she needed a second to breathe. Denise stared at Brent like she'd never seen him before. Adrian from legal stayed calm, but his eyes sharpened. The recording ended. Silence. It was so quiet I could hear the air vent. Brent opened his mouth, then closed it. Then he tried to laugh again. That was a joke, he said quickly. Come on, obviously I was kidding. Denise's voice was cold. Was it a joke when you took credit in her promotion meeting? Brent turned toward Denise, panicking under the surface. Denise, you know me, he said. I'm a leader. I build my people up. Marcia spoke slower now. Then why did you remove her access to the Orion folder on Wednesday? She asked. Brent blinked. What? I slid the IT email printout forward. It confirmed the permission change came from your account, I said. Brent's hands were suddenly very still. He stared at the paper. Then he looked at me, like he couldn't believe I'd actually done this. I didn't smile. I just met his eyes. Denise leaned back in her chair, exhaling through her nose. Brent, she said, this is serious. Brent's voice got sharper. This is a witch hunt, he snapped. She's trying to sabotage me because she didn't get her way. Marcia's expression hardened. This meeting is not about feelings, she said. It's about documented evidence. Adrian from legal finally spoke again. Brent, he said evenly, do you deny saying those words in the recording? Brent swallowed. It was taken out of context, he said. Adrian nodded once. And do you deny sending the email claiming you successfully led Orion? Brent's jaw tightened. I led it, he insisted. Denise looked at me. Did you lead it? She asked. Yes, I said. I led the work. Brent managed upward. Denise turned back to Brent. You understand, she said, that presenting someone else's work as your own can be grounds for corrective action. Brent's eyes flicked around the room like he was searching for an escape. Marcia closed her laptop fully now. I'm going to pause this meeting, she said. Brent, we'll need you to step out while we continue with next steps. Brent's head jerked. What? No, this is my team. Adrian's tone stayed calm. This is an investigation, he said. You'll be contacted. Brent stood up too fast. His chair scraped the floor. For the first time, he looked small. He tried one more thing. He pointed at me. You're making a huge mistake, he said, voice low. Denise's eyes flashed. Stop, she said. Brent froze. Then he walked out. No smirk, no confidence, just stiff steps and a door closing behind him. My hands were trembling again, but now it wasn't fear. It was adrenaline. Vindicated. Marcia turned to me. Thank you for presenting this professionally, she said. And I could hear how different her tone was now. Not doubtful, not dismissive, serious, respectful. Denise nodded. I owe you an apology, she said. I should have asked more questions. I swallowed hard. I didn't want drama, I said softly. I just wanted fairness. Adrian wrote something down. Marcia asked a few questions. Dates, processes. Who else was present during key calls? I answered everything calmly. Because I had the timeline, because I had proof, and because Brent couldn't rewrite facts. But I wish that was the end. Because when you expose someone like Brent, they don't go quietly. That afternoon, my phone buzzed again. A text from an unknown number. Hope you're happy. My stomach flipped. Then another. People like you don't last here. Then another. You think HR is your friend? I stared at the screen. My hands went cold. I didn't reply. I screenshot everything, and I forwarded it to Marcia with a simple message. Received after today's meeting. Please advise. Within 10 minutes, Marcia called me. This is important, she said. Do not engage. We will document it. If you feel unsafe, contact security. Unsafe. I didn't feel unsafe in a physical way, but emotionally, I felt like I was standing in a hallway with the lights flickering. That night, I packed my laptop bag like I might not come back, not because I planned to quit, because I knew what retaliation can look like. Subtle, dirty, performance write-ups, isolation, whispers. So I protected myself. I printed copies of key documents and stored them at home. I backed up my evidence. I wrote down names of colleagues who could confirm I led Orion. And I started applying for jobs too. not as an escape, as leverage. Because I learned something important. Even if you win at your company, you still need options. The next week was tense. Brent was out of office, no explanation. His calendar was wiped. People whispered at the coffee machine. Did you hear something happened? Denise looked furious in a meeting. Brent's projects got reassigned. I kept my head down, did my work, logged everything. Then one morning, Denise asked me to come to her office. My stomach dropped as I walked down the hallway. Because even when you're right, you still fear consequences. Denise closed the door behind me. She gestured for me to sit. I want you to hear this from me, she said. I nodded, heart pounding. HR concluded their initial review, she said, and they're proceeding with formal action. I held my breath. What does that mean? I asked. Denise's expression was firm. It means Brent is no longer managing this team, she said. I blinked. My chest loosened a little. Denise continued. He misrepresented work product, interfered with access to documentation, and engaged in retaliation. Retaliation. That word landed like a heavy stamp. Denise leaned forward. I'm also correcting the promotion decision, she said. My throat tightened. What? I whispered. She nodded. You should have been promoted, she said. And you will be. My eyes stung, but I forced myself to stay composed. Denise slid a paper across the desk. An official letter. New title, Senior Analyst. A raise that actually mattered, not a tiny bump. A real one. I stared at it, feeling like the room shifted. I started, but my voice caught. Denise's expression softened just a little. I'm sorry, she said again. You did the work. You deserved the credit. I nodded slowly. Thank you, I managed. Then Denise said something that shocked me. We're also updating the Orion Award submission, she said. Your name will be attached to that project as lead. I blinked. So Brent's leadership award was being corrected too. Denise's jaw tightened. I don't tolerate that kind of behavior, she said. And now I know what he's been doing. I walked out of her office feeling lightheaded. Not giddy, just steady, like my spine finally fit inside my body again. But I wasn't done. Because a promotion is nice, but a record matters. I wanted to make sure Brent couldn't just hop to another team and repeat this. So I asked Marcia for one more thing. A written confirmation that my complaint was substantiated and that corrective action was taken. I didn't need details. I just needed something official. Marcia didn't love the request. HR rarely does, but she didn't say no. She sent me a brief email. This is to confirm that HR reviewed your concerns, found them substantiated, and addressed them per company policy. I saved it because I wasn't going back to being naive. 2 weeks later, Brent's name disappeared from internal directories. Then quietly, I heard the real story. He wasn't just removed. He was terminated. Apparently, HR dug deeper. They checked other projects. They interviewed other employees. And more than one person had similar stories. Brent had been doing this for years. He just picked the wrong person this time. Because I kept receipts. I remember the day the news spread. I was in the break room pouring coffee when Jenna rushed in. Her eyes were wide. Girl, she whispered, he's gone. I blinked. Gone? I asked. Terminated, she said, practically vibrating. Security walked him out. I didn't react dramatically. I just nodded, but inside, something unclenched. Vindicated. Later that day, I got an email from Denise. She asked me to join a leadership meeting to present Orion learnings. Me, not my manager, not the team, me. I walked into that meeting with my new title in my email signature. And when I introduced the project, I didn't do it with anger. I did it with calm certainty. I led the Orion migration, I said. Here's what we learned. People listened. They asked questions. They respected the answers. It was surreal. But I knew something else too. This company let Brent exist for too long. Even if I won, the culture wasn't safe. So I kept applying, and my new title helped. My updated resume helped. My confidence helped. A month later, a recruiter called me about a role at a larger company. Better pay, better team structure, a manager known for developing people. I interviewed. I was honest about my strengths. I didn't trash my old company. I didn't mention Brent by name. I just talked about ownership, process, leadership. And the day they offered me the job, the salary number made me sit down. It was a real jump, not just a good job raise, a life change. I accepted. When I gave notice, Denise was supportive. She looked disappointed but not surprised. I can't blame you, she said. You deserve a place that sees you. On my last day, Jenna hugged me so tight I could barely breathe. I'm proud of you, she whispered. I smiled. Keep saving your emails, I whispered back. She laughed, but her eyes were serious. A week after I left, I got a message from someone still at my old company. Apparently, Brent had tried to apply for a role at a partner firm, a firm that worked closely with ours, and someone in HR quietly made sure leadership there knew he had been terminated for policy violations. Not gossip, not drama, just professional truth. The firm passed on him. That's what people mean when they say blacklist. Not some secret list pinned on a wall, just a reputation that follows you when you burn bridges. And me? I started my new job and felt my nervous system relax for the first time in months. My new manager asked my opinion. He credited my work in meetings. He said my name when I delivered results. The first time he did, I almost cried in the bathroom afterward. Not because it was dramatic, because it was normal. It was how it should have been all along. Sometimes I think about that promotion meeting, about Brent's smirk, about the way HR doubted me at first, about how small I felt when they called me support. And then I think about that HR room. The moment the recording played, the audible gasp, the color drained from his face. And I remember the biggest lesson I learned. You don't need to be loud to win. You need to be prepared. You need receipts. You need calm. Because when someone tries to rewrite your story, the truth, documented, will always hit harder. And now, I'm thriving. Better job, better pay, better peace. And Brent, he can smirk somewhere else.